you tell I'm in denial?
You can't stay at the top forever.
I was also very surprised when I looked at my phone and saw Joe Girardi dismissed.
Well, I think mine were with common sense.
I think now belongs in the all-time greats top 10.
Boston, I really think only got to this point because of a guy named Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks.
That power play just was unbearable. It was humming.
Man, am I happy. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back.
When I think of New York Yankees now is Judge, probably people in the past when Jeter was coming up.
I would be shocked. A little bit hurt.
Hey, this is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, TexasFootball.com, and Valley Sports Southwest. You are listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. I am Kevin, and I'm joined by the man that we came up with this idea, was shared me the link for this website. We're doing some trade machine. I'm going to try to sell all the teams in my trade on this. And I'm sure you're doing the same thing, Austin.
Yeah. I just want to check, Kevin. You did try trade. It works.
Yes, it says success. I know the money aspect. I had to do a couple, and then I just put picks in because that makes sense.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that it actually, well, some of them will be, obviously, you can make bad trades in here just by plugging in players and stuff. But I did want to make sure that it actually
I agree.
Be possible.
Yeah, I appreciate that. This probably won't happen, but I think it should happen for this team. I think a lot of this is a makeover, but I think it benefits all the teams.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I think you're going to make this a lot bigger than it probably realistically would be. But what teams do you have in your trade?
So I have 4 Kings, but I've started with the Kings and Warriors. Then it went to Kings, Warriors, Bulls. Then Kings, Warriors, Bulls, Grizzlies.
Wow. Okay.
What are your teams?
My teams are Bulls and Knicks.
Ooh, okay. All right. You know what? I'll just get mine over with because it's probably not a good trade. Or I feel confident in it. It started off well. But the main idea is the Kings get Andrew Wiggins, Caruso, and then Xavier Tillman.
Okay.
The Warriors get DeMar DeRozan, Luke Kennard, Alex Len, and then a first and second round pick. The Bulls get Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, and then a couple picks from the Warriors.
Okay.
And then the Grizzlies get Draymond Green.
That's it?
Yeah.
What else did they give away besides Xavier Tillman?
They gave away a second, and I guess they would probably have to give away a first, right? For Draymond.
I mean, not necessarily if all the other teams got what they necessarily wanted, but the fact that they're going to be taking on that much salary, it almost seems like they should be getting a pick for taking that on. That's a massive trade.
I know. The main idea, though, is the Kings should some way go for Andrew Wiggins. I feel his value's low enough. We saw what he did in the playoffs. I think he'd be a great defensive piece. But I don't think you can have Harrison Barnes and Andrew Wiggins on the same team. Because I think Wiggins would basically be taken.
So you have Harrison Barnes returning?
No, Harrison Barnes goes to the Bulls.
Okay. What are the Warriors losing besides Draymond Green and Wiggins? What are they
They're
losing?
Losing Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, and they're losing 2 first-round picks.
And they get, again,
DeMar DeRozan, Luke Kennard, and Alex Len.
Okay. Well, I'll think about that for a second. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
I'll say mine.
Okay, not terrible, right?
I'm gonna have to think about it. It's so many teams. I need to see it in front of me for me to fully understand it, to fully grasp it. I'll say my trade, and then we'll try to sell our teams on the trade. So mine is obviously Knicks and Bulls. The Knicks get DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso. The Bulls get Evan Fournier, Dante DiVincenzo, Quentin Grimes, a 2024 first from the Knicks, and a 2027 first lottery protected pick. I'll go first in trying to sell this because it's less teams.
Yeah.
DeMar is kind of falling off this year. He's not playing as well as he had in the past year, so I think his what he's worth is lower. But I do think the Knicks would benefit from having another star. The bench is already kind of low, so getting Caruso as well. He's shooting 42% from three. He's a great defender. He just seems like a Tom Thibodeau type of guy. For the Bulls, I think they need to get rid of some of their star talent in exchange for picks. That Evan Fournier contract, which is $18.8 million over 2 years, it's not really 2 years because the second year of that contract is a team option, so he just wouldn't return. DiVincenzo is good. Him and Alex Caruso are very comparable. And then Quentin Grimes is just a young player that's only $2.3 million for 2 years. You may be saying, oh, two firsts. The first this year for the Knicks isn't going to be that great, and a lottery protected 2027. That's another great first. But DeMar is leaving for nothing in free agency if you don't get something for him now. And I think it's enough. I think DiVincenzo and Caruso are a wash. Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes for with the two firsts for DeMar, I think is a wash. And I think that you get enough out of this as a Bulls fan that I would still be happy because you can always make something happen with first, and you don't want to lose DeMar for nothing.
Yeah. I just realized you and I both have DeMar getting traded from the Bulls.
And Caruso.
Oh, wow. Okay. So should I go with the Kings? Because the Kings are the main team I want to sell on.
Sure.
Okay. Kings, you're at the A spot right now as we're recording. You know, you were super good last year, but you lost to the Warriors. But here's the thing. You brought Harrison Barnes back. He's struggling. Go get Andrew Wiggins because his value is really low. And he hasn't played well, but I feel with a new change of scenery, it would help him. And he's on a longer-term contract. He's younger. And so you don't really have to worry about re-signing him. Caruso gives you a nice guard. You're losing Kevin Huerter, but Caruso will help you on the defense. Then Tillman is helping the loss with Alex Len because you need to send him so you could get Wiggins, and it helps the Warriors. But the main thing is Wiggins. You want Wiggins. He'll help you on the offense and defensively. And he was arguably the second best player in that playoff run for the Warriors. So that upgrades the starting five. Now, I'll go to the Bulls first. The Bulls, you're getting a lot in long-term contracts for DeMar DeRozan. As Austin mentioned, he's leaving for nothing if you let him go. You get 2 firsts from the Warriors, 2026 and 2028. 2028 is top 10 protected, but the Bulls, you were struggling with who was going to have the ball. You don't really have to deal with that now. You got Harrison Barnes, who's a good shooter. Same thing with Kevin Huerter. And you got a backup center in Kevon Looney, hoping he can help get back to what he was when they won the championship. Then Moses Moody is a nice young player that helps the loss of Caruso. You also get a second for Caruso. Then with the Warriors, you get DeMar DeRozan. You're getting off Draymond Green. You're getting rid of that. DeMar DeRozan gives you another ball handler and another guy that can score. Luke Kennard, you get a shooter. Alex Len is a good backup center. You could also start him to replace Looney as he struggled for y'all. You get a first for Wiggins and then a second from the Grizzlies. And then Grizzlies, you're getting Draymond Green for the future. He's on a huge contract, but it's not really for this season. You're going for next season. And Draymond should be able to help push this team defensively, and it gives you some help with the Brandon Clark and Steven Adams injury.
Okay. Do you think you said enough to sell your teams?
I believe I said enough for the Kings. I'm not sure. I feel I feel like I said enough. This could be borderline bad, but I think the idea is there.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything more to add.
Okay, you don't have anything else to add on mine. I know you did give me a warning you'd be harsh.
Yeah, there's just so much happening. I could see some of those players being moved to some of those teams. I think the only thing I'd be harsh on is Draymond Green getting traded to the Grizzlies. I don't really see that as much of a possibility because of I don't think Draymond could really survive anywhere else. He gets more protection in Golden State because of all the mistakes he's made, but they kind of love him there for what he's done for them winning championships wise. I don't know if he could survive outside of Golden State.
I feel he had to be traded because to me it was very unrealistic that Warriors didn't give something up when they got in DeMar DeRozan. And I feel like Draymond to the Grizzlies could make sense, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on what other teams value him at.
All right. That's all we got. Let us know what you think of the trade machine. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.